Hey everyone, Sam here. Day 3 of Strixhaven Spoilers seemed largely dedicated to Lorehold College, the new identity granted to the red and white color pair. I've picked out my highlights for the day and I can't wait to share them with you. Are you ready? Let's go. Lorehold is more than just a rebranding of Boros. Wizards is experimenting with new recursion abilities in the color pair that don't break the color pie and help red and white generate some form of card advantage that plays well to the strengths of the colors. Red and white are some of the best colors at wiping the board, but they're also the colors that suffer most from board wipes, since they lack the ability to quickly refill and rebuild. Getting access to the graveyard gives Lorehold cards a meaningful way to recover. Enter Venerable Warsinger and Geoffrey Ghostforge. Both of these creatures give you a form of recursion that is either tied to or benefits combat. Warsinger triggers when it deals combat damage, which, since it has trample, is likely to find you some value. In some situations, it can even bring back itself from the graveyard. Geoffrey grants you a token copy of the dead creature, which importantly has haste, so you don't have to miss a beat in an aggressive game plan. And amazingly, Geoffrey returns the creature to your graveyard when you lose the token copy, so your other recursive elements can act on it. Both of these work exceptionally well with extra combat steps. To the surprise of nobody, Dockside Extortionist fits well here. Sacrifice Dockside to Goblin Bombardment, attack with Warsinger, and recur Dockside. Use the treasures to activate Aggravated Assault, and repeat. Geoffrey can work much the same way, but also takes advantage of ETB effects. With Geoffrey out, cast Sun Titan and recur Goblin Bombardment. Sacrifice the Titan to Bombardment, and Geoffrey creates a token of Titan, and the ETB recurs Dockside Extortionist. Attack with the token Titan and recur Aggravated Assault. Sack and recur Dockside until all opponents are dead. But Lorehold's newfound access to the graveyard doesn't stop with creatures. With Returned Pastcaller and Efreet Flamepainter, Lorehold colors have direct access to spells in the graveyard as well. Pastcaller is a more expensive Archaeomancer on a more aggressive body, putting a spell or spirit back into your hand. But Flamepainter is where things get really exciting. Flamepainter allows you to cast spells from your graveyard for free, letting you cheat on mana costs for any large spell you can dump into your graveyard. And because it has double strike, it can flash back more than one spell. I spoke in my last video about the use of Mizzix's Mastery in Historic. Well, this is Mastery on a stick. Left unchecked, Flamepainter will generate more than enough value to win any game it is in. The last card that fits this new theme that I'd like to discuss is Reconstruct History. This gives Lorehold access to not just creatures and spells, but any of up to 5 different card types in the graveyard. This is likely an instant commander staple, and could very well see play in Standard as well. I'm not sold on it in CEDH, simply because 4 mana value is a lot, but it does combo well with Intuition. If your opponent gives you Reconstruct History instead of Underworld Breach or Sevin's Reclamation, you can not only move to your Breach combo, but recover any previously used counterspells to protect your combo. Today, we also got to see the Elder Dragon after whom the Lorehold College is named, Velomachus Lorehold. Velomachus was immediately, and rightly, compared to Narset Enlightened Master. The dragon digs a few cards deeper, but can only hit instants and sorceries, and only those with a mana value less than or equal to its power. Early analysis of Velomachus suggested that it should be built around extra combat steps, and that at 7 mana value, it was likely too expensive to see play. I disagree with both of these takes. Most extra combat spells are worded in a way that they only work when cast in a main phase. Only 2, World at War and Savage Beating, would work when cast by Velomachus' ability. As for the high mana value, well, Velomachus seems to me to be the perfect target for reanimation or sneak attack plans. With haste, you're bound to get immediate value, and if that value is an extra turn spell, you can expect to begin to pull far ahead of your opponents. Moving on, today we received updates to 2 modern staples, Both Abrade and Cathartic Reunion cost 1 and a red. For the low cost of making them slightly more difficult to cast by transforming the generic mana cost into a white pip, both had their effects upgraded. Enter Rip Apart and Thrilling Discovery. Some decks, especially in Modern, may continue to value Abrade because it can be cast at instant speed, but Rip Apart offers the additional flexibility to remove enchantments or damage planeswalkers. Having one card that can remove 4 different card types is exactly the kind of flexibility you want from your removal suite. For the new white pip, Thrilling Discovery gains you 2 life, but the real benefit here is that discarding 2 cards is no longer part of the spell's cost, and instead is contained in the spell's effect. If Cathartic Reunion is countered, you lose Reunion, and the 2 cards you had to discard to cast it. With Thrilling Discovery, you don't have to discard anything until the spell resolves. It's a much safer card. Finally, we have a few spells that are not multicolored. Yorion should have demonstrated to all of us the value of mass flicker effects, so it shouldn't come as a surprise that Semester's End is likely to be a powerful effect. While it can't target any non-land permanent like Yorion, it does come at instant speed and returns each of your creatures or planeswalkers with a buff. In Historic, where Panharmonicon is legal, expect to see a variety of decks that attempt to use Semester's End to abuse Enter the Battlefield effects. Speaking of ETBs, our last card of the day offers some protection against them. Strict Proctor taxes Enter the Battlefield triggers and counters them if opponents can't pay the tax. While this is an excellent hate bear, I'm most excited about how it interacts with triggers of your own you'd rather not let resolve. Want to play Lotus Field, but you'd rather not sacrifice 2 lands? No problem, let Proctor counter the trigger for you. Want to play Kroxa on turn 3 and keep your 6/6 creature? Just let Proctor counter the sacrifice trigger. Thank goodness Uro has been banned into oblivion. Those are my thoughts, but I want to know what you think. Did I skip your favorite card? Am I wrong about any of these? Let me know in the comments below, and if you like what I do, be sure to subscribe to the channel and get that bell on. I'll be back tomorrow continuing my coverage of the Strixhaven release. Talk soon.